This podcast is brought to you by Mapper Forward's new Patreon community, the Global Coffee Think Tank. Check the show notes or head to patreon.com/Mapper Forward to find out how you can become a member today. Willy Gihozo, welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward. It is a pleasure to have you here, Willy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here too.
Thank you for saying that. You and I have been talking on Instagram for a little while. And we have been trying to tee this up for a minute, but now finally we've got here. You are a coffee producer from Rwanda. You are a third generation coffee producer from Rwanda. In this series of 5 episodes, I would really like to talk to you about what that looks like at this moment in history, because there's a lot of talk about what is going on in Brazil and how the stress on the supply chain has influenced production out of Brazil and the supply chain out of Brazil, and as well as out of Central and South America. We're not hearing a lot of information coming out of what's going on with the coffee supply out of Africa and how things have been affected by, let's say, the war in Ukraine by Russia, or the economic implications of coffee prices, etc., etc. So I thought it would be great for us to have a chat about that, and we can hopefully this will be the first of many conversations that we have on the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
So I wanted to ask you, tell us about Willy and what you do and the farms that you have.
Yes, for a small introduction, my name is Willy Gihozo Rukemampunzi. I'm a farmer and a third generation producer in the coffee sector in Rwanda. So I've been in the coffee sector for 5 years. After my high school, I started helping my father on the farms, exporting all the supply chain that has to be made. Yes, I think I have that passion. Because when I was a little kid, when I had 12 years, I used to go with my father on the farm. I didn't know a lot about coffee, but I had to learn just to know how to treat a coffee tree, why this you might harvest these kilograms on one tree and another one this kind of kilograms. So I have been trying to learn more about coffee, and then I think it's a blessing because when I see from where I came from to now, there is a lot of things that happened, and I'm grateful. Yeah.
What are the kinds of things that you're referring to that have happened?
Sorry?
So when you say that, when you see where you've come from to where you've got to and how a lot of things have happened, it sounds like you have been changed as you've become an entrepreneur. Because for all intents and purposes, you're an entrepreneur now. Yeah. So how have you been changed by becoming a coffee producer?
I have learned a lot during the progress. Yeah, because I wasn't familiar with the outside world, to connect with someone for the first time, to try to connect for your coffee to be bought.
Wow.
There were a lot of challenges. Because approaching, is very difficult to approach a buyer.
Tell me more about that.
Difficult time. Because I've been trying to go to some exhibitions to try to connect. You're not the only one producing the coffee. There is a lot of coffee producers in our country. So you have to have that unique thing you have to introduce to a buyer.
What would you say is the unique thing that you guys have? You have 3 farms, right?
Yeah, we have 3 farms.
What is the unique thing that you guys bring?
Good coffee. That's the unique thing. That's the unique thing. I can't lie. That's the unique thing because many people who know about our company, Mahembe, they know it because of the Cup of Excellence.
Right. Did you win Cup of Excellence? or
most of
place?
The time we've been in the 5 top.
Awesome.
For like 6 times. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're trying to be consistent on the quality thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the territory where we and the farmers try, they really understand that thing of picking good cherries, harvesting.
Yeah.
We did try to give them there's what we call farmer field school.
Farmer field school.
Field school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's like a project that conducted by our government through NAEB. NAEB is the National Agriculture Exporting Board. So it really teaches farmers how to treat their farm and how to harvest, that kind of process.
Wow.
Which later give us the results while we are processing in the washing stations, when you see like a farmer can really understand how to bring ripe cherries. So I think it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an agricultural school or a business school or both?
It's agriculture school, because that's why they call it farmer field school.
Okay.
It's one way to help teach farmers how to treat a coffee tree. From planting up to harvesting.
Yeah, wow. And processing or just up to harvesting?
Up to harvesting, because we are the one to process producers.
Right.
Yeah. So to tell you something, so after they harvest, farmers, they bring their coffee cherries to the washing stations.
Yep.
That's the wet mill. And then we pay them according to what they brought. We have something called farm gate price.
Farm gate price. Teach me what that means.
Price. So farm gate price is the price that has to be given to a farmer.
Oh, the farm gate price. Right, the farm gate price. Right. Yeah. So the farm gate price is so you pay that to the farmer, and then you process the coffee at the mill.
And then
at your family's mill.
Yeah, our family's mill.
Okay.
And then after we export it to the buyers. So then after, there is something called a bonus. We give a certain bonus, we give back to the farmers after selling. So just for short notification, our season starts in January, mid-January.
I'm taking notes. Go on.
Yeah, sure. and it ends at the end of May.
Okay. And that whole, so that's the harvest, right?
That's the harvest. So then from June to October, that's when we have that process of dry milling and exporting.
Right.
So from at the end of October up to December, that's when we give out that thing called the bonus to the farmers.
And how is that? Is that something that's calculated based on the sell price, or is it based on the C price, or what's it based on?
Bonus? It depends on how we sold.
Right. So it's based on the actual sales rather than on what the C market's doing or anything like that.
Yeah.
Willy, are you guys doing just specialty or both?
Yes. Just specialty only.
Wow. Specialty. Wow. Okay. And is that even the producers that you get coffee from are doing all specialty?
Yes. Because we don't have that large amount of coffee trees here in Rwanda. We have a small amount of coffee trees. So we are small producers.
Right.
Our country is a small producer. So we have driven into a thing of doing specialty.
Because it gets a better price, and therefore if you have smaller quantities but higher prices, it's how you compensate. Right.
Yeah.
Now, you were telling me that what's going on in Brazil has really had an impact on coffee producing in Rwanda.
Yes.
How about we talk about that in the next episode?
That's fine.
That sounds fantastic. So let's do that.
Yes.
And we can get to learn more about the industry in Rwanda by looking at how it's been affected by Brazil. Okay? Let's do it.
Sure.
Peace, love, and peanut butter, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.